right. So this is our true inaugural episode of the For the Birds podcast with our new setup here. And with us, we have as our first guest, of course, probably one of the most important people in our entire law firm who keeps the law firm running and the lights on. It's Gerta Toska. And Gerta is a mother of 3. She is an exceptional lady, the head of our personal injury department here at Cardinal Law. And I want her to give you a quick 30-second blurb to introduce herself before we get into things.
Hi, everybody. What's up? This is Gerta. That's right. I run the show. What can I say? I am clearly kidding. A mother of 3. I have a bonus kid and 2 little rascals that are just running this beautiful life.
I didn't know whether to say mother of 3 or mother of 2. You have 2 small kids and 1 big kid, and another big kid who is an
and
adult,
a bigger kid
who acts like a kid half the time.
Big kid. Yeah, but we're just the Brady Bunch, man. I wouldn't change it for the world.
That's right. All right. Well, tell us about your role here at Cardinal Law.
Yes, head of the PI department. That's what I call it. It's just fancy words for calling all the laundry lists you got. Just throw it at me. I got it. I'm a problem solver. I can't, for the life of me, I make it my life mission to smooth operation. Okay. Nothing gets taken personal. These people are confused. I get it. It's hard time. So for us to ease off any sort of headaches for them, absolutely, we're here for it. We're good at it too.
What's your favorite part of the job?
I don't know. Maybe the problem solving, even though I complain about every single one of them that just comes my way. The problem solving is I go in, I'm like, okay, bring it on. What's today? Monday? You guys have the whole weekend to think about all these fabulous questions. Bring it on. I got this. What else do you got? This one? Oh, okay. I got you. Who told you your next door neighbor $500,000? Damn it. We're going to top it. Don't worry about it. And then I give them a reality check.
Now, these reality checks aren't just from 9 to 5, are they? Are you answering the phone at all times of day, at all hours?
I mean, that wouldn't be fun. That's boring. No, I got you on a Saturday while bedtime, bathing. My daughter decides to play, hey, wait a minute. Cardinal Law, this is Aria. I can help you. She's just constantly repeating after me.
So you got a young lawyer in training potentially.
Yeah, these kids have to see it. All the sacrifices can't just happen overnight, and they got to see it all. It's fine. Sometimes they'll be shh, don't talk. Cardinal Law is on the phone. So I got to train them young. What can I say?
Now, your role includes not only handling clients, but also dealing with doctors and dealing with staff at our office.
Yes.
What are some difficulties that you encounter in your position?
So having a clear conscience of what you provide and what you put to the table is key. You have to come in knowing what you bring to the table, because once that's cleared, nothing that is brought up to you, you're taking personally. You know, you go above and beyond, and you know that the biggest, the whole reason why we even have our doors open, it's for these clients. So you have to be humble, and you need to be able to realize what is the goal here, what are we trying to achieve. And then, of course, you throw your little extra special seasoning that I can't tell you all my secrets, but
nobody sells the secret sauce, right?
Yeah, exactly. But it tastes good at the end of the day, and as long as these clients are satisfied within reasonable expectations. But it is hard work, and it shows. And I lecture them and lecture them and lecture them. I feel like I'm a private therapist even to the girls here, because it does become overwhelming. They have to have an outlook. They have to have something to just vent. And when you're there for them, and you start doing that from the client aspect, they're completely clueless. And for us, it comes so natural. We know what's next. They don't. So you gotta dumb it down, break it down to every little detail. And then all of a sudden, you're training these guys, and by the time the case is resolved, they are walking billboards to the clients that are not even here yet.
So let's back up quite a bit and
Sure.
tell me a little bit about your story, where you came from and who you
Yeah.
are and what made you decide to want to get into the legal field and legal
Yes.
profession.
So moved here in the States about 25 years ago, 24 years ago, 15 years old. My parents won the American lottery. It's not money. Everybody assumes that. It's the opportunity for families out in Europe to apply, and you go through a whole background check, and all of a sudden, out of hundreds and hundreds of applicants from every year, they cherry pick and they make you go through the whole process. I was 15 years old. My sisters, I have twin sisters. They were 12. We moved into the concrete world of New York City. Just here, from one end to the other. I remember using this metaphor and analogy on all my essays, and I said, my childhood was strip over at the JFK airport. You're taking a flight from Albania, Tirana specifically, the capital. They give you all these fun, cool stuff as a kid. You're like, here, play with this. Oh, you got 3 children. Let me entertain you. They hand them over. So I'm going looking at my dad. I say, hey, can you help me out with what the hell is this? And he's looking it over. And 5 seconds later, the lady goes like, all right, well, if you are going to depart at JFK, this is the paperwork that you have to fill out, party of 5. My dad takes all the toys and is like, never mind. You got to fill this out. And I never stopped filling out those paperwork. So for me, it's the only thing that I know how to do. Just be everybody's parent, even though at the time I really did hate it. But
So from the age of 15 to where you are now,
yep.
what is it that made you get into the legal profession?
So my mom and I got in a T-bone car accident when I was young. I was driving. We were driving our dad to his work, dropped him off. The man was drunk. I couldn't tell. My mom said he reeked.
Oh, man.
We were so scared. We had insurance companies calling us left and right. We thought we did something wrong. He ran a stoplight and just plowed into us. And we were clueless. I mean, my parents taught me, don't call anybody, don't bother anyone. If any government, again, the lack of knowledge. So maybe this is where I get my passion of having to break it down to these people what their rights are. And I wish somebody, was doing that for us because it was scary.
Well, and that's the thing. It's such an alien thing to happen. Often, this may not happen to anybody during their lifetime, but then when it does happen, you don't know how to react or what to do. Mm-hmm. So walking somebody through that process is very important. And holding their hand really through the process.
Yes.
So, is there any advice that you would give somebody who's never been in an accident, who does unfortunately get in an accident? What do they do? Like, what are some steps they can take to protect themselves?
Yes. Great question. Honestly, we've come to this world that everything is AI related. Call a firm that you'll be able to speak to somebody, to a human being that's going to tell you step by step of what exactly you need to do next. And you're not asking for too much. It's your right to go through and have somebody, a professional that has empathy and has the patience to sit there and listen to your story. For you and I, it might sound like blabbering, but it's not to them. They're so emotionally invested that they're just like, whatever you tell me, I will do it. I'm clueless. And those clients are the ones that you want to, makes you even the motivation to make you work harder. So absolutely call a firm that is there to actually answer your phone calls, emails, text message, and then call the cops at the scene of the accident. Always. You want to have that police report. You want to have that exchange of information. Then start taking pictures too, your car, the other side too. And then shortly after that, your hand will be held to go to the next provider that rightfully so. And of course, if you have to go to the hospital, you go to the hospital right away.
And don't forget to take pictures of the scene, document everything, exchange information, exchange insurance information.
Yes.
And don't talk to the other side's insurance company because they're going to try to lowball you and get out of the claim quickly.
Well,
Or they
that switched the story around. I had a client that said to me, Gerta, all I said was, hey, how are you? How's your day going? And I said, good. And ever since I said that, they're like, I thought you were good on this day at this time of the hour. I'm like, what?
Yep.
Nonsense.
Yep, exactly.
Nonsense. So, I mean, these guys are experts. So if you're, shoot, the adjusters would walk around with a checkbook and stalk these people and knock on their door. And the average Joe that's as scared as I was with my mom at the time, they had money in their hands and they didn't want to cash it, which is good. Don't sign any releases either.
Yeah.
Without talking to somebody. But
So tell me, over the years, I'm sure you worked on many, many different cases, many types of cases.
yes.
Do you have a favorite case that you've worked on or a favorite client that you've worked with? Don't name any names, but
Sure.
something that might stick out in your mind that you remember as being either something that you did effectively that helped somebody out in a
Yeah.
particular way, or a case that you just think about fondly and how, the result that you got or how you helped somebody.
So my biggest thing, there's so many of them. I can't sit here and I can hours and bore you with names, which I'm not going to.
No names.
However, my favorite ones are the ones that if I have a family tree, I guarantee represented the whole damn family. To this day, they are 6 years later. They're still sending over. Now the branches have expanded to the neighbors and the cousins of the neighbors, but that's beautiful. I mean, you went from meeting somebody for the first time and they call me before they call the cops. I'm sending you over somebody. I was like, can you tell them to call the cops? And if they have to go to the hospital, that's very important. But I remember the whole family was in the car, including the kiddos. The lady was terrified of stepping a foot in the car again, so that trauma alone. Then you have the little kiddos that they're just clinging on, and then they don't want to go anywhere in Naples without driving where you think you're going, not too far. Yeah. And to this day, that lady is the walking billboard that still brings in. The kid is celebrating birthdays. I'm getting pictures. It's beautiful. It's this family that, the chosen family that is my motor and my motivation that I'll continue to do for as long as I'm around.
Sounds like you get that personal connection. You maintain it.
Absolutely.
You build a relationship with those people.
That's the reward.
Right.
That's the reward. You come up with a problem. Well, the problem comes to you, and you feel so honored that they're trusting you with all that because they're spilling out your guts. Now, once you start getting to the mother-in-law stories, that's where I draw the line. But I know a few of those too. So, because again, it's an honor that they feel so comfortable that they're willing to tell you everything. So there's a talent there to cut that off without getting too emotionally involved, even though you're with them for 6 to 8 months average, sometimes a year, depending on their injuries. And it's beautiful that they're willing to come to you with all these stories. And it's all good. We've managed to filter the other ones, but eventually the vibes that we put in this office, I feel like they trigger and they come right back to us with these amazing humans that they just want to be helped. I mean, getting off the phone with the client that says, it's in your hands, we trust you, whatever you tell me to do, I will not cause any issues.
Yeah, it puts you in a very significant role in their life and a role of great responsibility as well.
Yes. And it makes you want to work that much harder because you don't want to, they trust you so much. And this is why, to go back to the original question with the doctors, there's a laundry list of competitors out there that they all want business and they all want to deal with. And unless you're out there to prioritize and roll the red carpet for these clients, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to work with me.
So
doesn't matter how much I get wooed.
Talking about rolling the red carpet out for the clients, is there something about Cardinal Law that sets Cardinal Law apart from other law firms that incentivizes people to work with us? Yes,
our communication is key. Within 24 hours, somebody's answering you, whether it's me. Everybody here is so knowledgeable, and I wouldn't have it any other way. trustworthy. These women work hard at what they do. They are, and I assure you that I also let the client know too, because of course, since I'm the initial person who is in the main contact once I meet with them for the first time, like that baby, they want to stay with mom. You gotta, what's the word I'm looking for? You have to delegate work and tell them they're just as knowledgeable.
Let's turn the page a little bit and let's talk about a piece of advice that you would give to somebody who might be interested in pursuing a legal profession. Do you have any advice that you give to somebody that might be interested in a job like yours?
You have to be passionate with this. You have to be able to connect with these people that they had zero contribution to an accident. You're sitting on a red light and all of a sudden you just slam into. Can you imagine?
And boom, their whole life is messed up.
Messed up.
Instantaneously.
Absolutely. You say, I just wanted to go to work that morning.
Right.
Drop off a kid.
And now, not only can they not get to work that morning because they're dealing with cops and a damaged car, maybe their car doesn't work and they can't get to work for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
And then they're hurt, so they have to figure out a way to get to treatment. Yep. And their whole life is completely upended in a split second.
A split second. And
Right.
they did nothing to do, it had nothing to do with it.
And they're angry.
They are.
And frustrated and confused.
Yes. How did this happen to me? Why it happened to me? So you are a therapist in a way with these guys, and you have to read these people, and it does become overwhelming for whoever's on the other end receiving all this. But that's when your work ethics comes in handy. That calm, soothing voice that all of a sudden, and then that's their medicine. So they want more of that. So you have to be able to solve that problem, make sure that you are there for them at their worst, because again, I'd rather answer a phone call now knowing that I know it's going to be a headache for me than leave that problem and leave that client sitting there assuming and rambling and thinking the worst, because that's exactly what he's going to end up doing.
So from what I'm hearing, your one piece of advice would be to be passionate. Is that accurate?
Passion. You want to sympathize with these guys. You want to passion and patient, man.
Patience. Patience is a good one.
Patience is the key.
Okay. Let me see. Let's talk about funny stuff. Do you have a funny case that you might have worked on that you remember that just kind of cracked you up and
I
gave you a
do,
smile?
and I send them right out the door too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's one type of funny. I'm not talking about funny looking. I'm talking about
No. I'm talking the kind that you have somebody call in and you're like, I'm not answering this, but then of course you're answering it because it's me. I don't know. I mean, that might be an issue. Is that a control thing? That might be a control freak that I don't want to let anything slip through the fingers. But hey, listen, I know there's plenty of fish in the sea, but if I don't answer, somebody else will. I'd rather be the one solving that problem. That's for sure in the long run.
That's true.
She calls in, had her nails done. 3rd-degree burn on all of her hands. I said, I don't even know why I'm about to ask you this, but what happened? She said, well, so they wrapped it up, for the ladies out there, they wrapped the nails with acetone, hot, very flaming hot. And she decided to go on a little smoke break.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Mom and Pop, poor Vietnamese shop, wanted the foul suit. She decided to go outside, have a cigarette, lit up, Edward Scissorhands,
Oh, no.
freaking out. Everything is on fire. So are her hands and fingers.
My goodness.
She's trying to get it off. She gets on her hair. I said, I'm sorry. Acetone? Cigarette. Ding dong. What do you think is going to happen?
It's like smoking at the gas station and then wondering why your car blew up, right?
Yeah. My car is on.
I don't know how my car caught on fire.
Yeah. I wanted to test the 4th of July fireworks.
Gosh.
Yeah, no, it don't work like that.
Yeah.
I said, with all due respect, ouch. First of all, how are you? This is not
something we can help.
This is something. And once you have those work ethics, people appreciate it, because that same exact person, she's like, I know that moment I wasn't a fan that you rejected me, but all of a sudden she referred over, said, I like the fact that because you were real and you were not just going to make something there. our job becomes easier if there's actually damages there and liability is clear, which it has to be at all times.
Well,
Miracle workers, we could switch things around, but there's certain things that, I sleep very well at night if my kids allow me.
being selective about your cases, and there are some lawyers and law firms that might get a bad rap for taking cases that don't have any merit. And I think being selective about certain cases goes a long way to credibility, not only with your clients and other people that your former clients might refer people to you, but also with the adjusters and with the other attorneys that we're working with as well.
Well, greed
Right.
can be nasty. Greed can be, the green monster that you don't want to, once it enters your office, the door, it's very easy to take over. However, I will not allow that.
Yeah.
I will not allow that because we're here for the long run. Our reputation is huge. It's a small town. The good word and the bad word spreads just as fast, and the adjusters appreciate it. Do you know how many adjusters have called and said, I have 15 files, and you know which file I decided to choose? You guys, because you got a demand that comes in binded, beautiful, with exhibits and a table of content and anything that I need. I just flip the page. I got paper clips and all these papers everywhere. You think I want to get into that file right now? No, thank you for that.
Well, and you're talking about reputation, and it takes a lifetime to build a reputation, but it can only take a second to destroy it, right? One case, and then all of a sudden your credibility's gone. So maintaining that work ethic and keeping that work product nice and clean and professional goes a long way, especially with the people that we deal with on the other side.
Well, so get this.
It makes it easier for them.
Building relationship, right? So it's that domino effect, and it's that you trying to...
You talk with your hands too much. You're whacking the microphone all over the
God,
place.
and cut. Starting that relationship from the get-go, right? You have with the client. Then the client starts getting super attached to the firm. Then you've got the adjusters. Then you create that relationship with the adjusters. The adjusters respect that. There's jerks out there. Sorry to mention that, but bluntness. it runs in my blood. I can't help it. The adjuster says we just trying to get around these cases.
Yeah.
There's some mean ones, and we show clause when needed, but the adjusters love it that we're so reasonable and then love the good cop, bad cop. Then you throw it to somebody else, and then Mr. Eric Golson gets on.
I'd say aggressive but reasonable.
Yes, because guess what? The chances of you having to speak with that adjuster again
are very high.
It's very high.
They say that you get more bees with honey, right? So you're going to have to deal with these people again and again.
Yes.
And I spent so much time dealing with jerks on one side or the other, and I remember those jerks. And I always give people the benefit of the doubt, but if somebody treats me poorly or is nasty in how they email or talk over the phone, I'll always remember that, and that affects my interactions with them going forward. And I like to think that we all have a good reputation of dealing with people nicely and professionally and how we'd want to be spoken to.
Well, until I want to really drink the opposing counsel's tears, hot or cold.
All right, so let's wrap up. And is there anything that you want to add just to conclude this little inaugural podcast in our new setup?
Well, I can't help but honestly to thank this great idea. I don't know if you remember it. Double date, you and Micah, Tony and I having sushi, talking about 2020, just the world turned inside out, upside down, you name it. And Tony's looking left and right. You're describing all your amazing litigation skills. And I'm just like, sign-ups after sign-ups. And he's just like, both of you ding-dongs can't understand that you got to do this together? Like, you just got to do this yesterday. And we're just like, what? What do you mean? It's like, yes, you got to do this. This is the one-time opportunity. And then a weekend passed by, and then desks are being put together. And Cardinal Law, it is 5 years ago. Mine 6 almost in
6.
June.
Yep.
or
Almost
5
6.
and a half, right?
I never look back, and
Never look back.
I think
And
it's awesome
best
what we built.
decision ever that we ever did. And every day I am so happy to come to work. You got to justify when we leave those kiddos. Now
Yeah.
they're going to school, but you know, when they were even younger, you have to have some sort of motivation to justify why you're not the full-time parent. Not to say, because it's a hard job. I mean, you know what Micah goes through.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
agreed.
having to juggle it all, it's a good outbreak. It's a good separation, healthy separation, to make yourself proud of what you do, and especially the way that we help these clients, it justifies it even more. So this has been the best thing ever.
If anybody does need your help, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
Phone,
Okay.
Telegram, send a bird, message in a bottle. I'll be right there.
All right. Sounds good.